Hello and welcome to the Franchise Marketing Show. The video or the podcast you're about to watch or listen to was recorded at the British and International Franchise Exhibition at Olympia. It was a very busy event, so there was a little bit of background noise, so it wasn't filmed in a recording studio or anything like that, but it is a really interesting conversation. Hope you enjoy it. Welcome back to the Franchise Marketing Show. We are at what show are we at? The British and International Franchise Exhibition 2024.
The first one in February, yeah.
And you're back on the Franchise Marketing Show. It's your second time here.
Yeah.
Just love coming over and talking to us.
Yeah, thank you for having me on.
Thank you for coming on. Yeah,
it's
appreciate
amazing.
it. It is amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing.
How are you? You all right?
I'm very well, I'm pretty good today. It's not always the case with me, so yeah, I'm pretty good.
Are you going running tomorrow morning?
Yes, 100%.
Where are you staying and where are you going running? Because I have a route in mind.
So I've been staying at the Hilton and then running up to the park, High Park.
Okay.
And then there's a couple of little bits, and I've just gone up, done a loop, and come back. It's about did 5k, did 3.5k this morning, 3.5k last night, and then 5k in the morning.
Okay.
If you go at 6 in the morning, there's zero traffic. You just run.
That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, you can just run. If you're there, I'll catch you.
My route was going to be run down to Stamford Bridge, go up to Craven Cottage, and then either come back or go up to Loftus Park where QPR play and then back to the hotel.
Oh, I don't know them that well. I just ran to High Park and back again.
Yeah, that's quite good.
Yeah, just literally one. And that road is it's really quiet at that time of the morning. It's dead natural.
Yeah, cool. I was going to ask you about your speech. So you're talking today later as well.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about that now? Because I remember I spoke to you before and you told me the story about how you were sick in your hands because you were so nervous. How are you feeling about that now?
I'll be honest with you, I actually feel completely fine. Piers Lilly's on at the same time as me, so I'm really gutted for him because his stand's going to be empty because they're all going to be on mine. So that's a shame for him. But yeah, look, I feel like I think it'd be flippant to say you're not scared or nervous about it. I think everyone gets a little bit nervy about anything public. You know, it's being recorded or any sort of question could be there, friends and family and anything. So yeah, I'm a little bit nervous, a little bit excited, and I hope what I've got to say gives value to someone. And I think that's the main thing for it. Yeah.
So yeah, I think like if you don't get nervous, it's like being nervous is like a sign that you care about it.
Yeah, like I really care about it. Like I don't take it lightheartedly, and I'm not at a stage where I've become a robot either. You know, I think I see some people and they're talking, I'm like, they literally don't care about what they're saying anymore because they've just done it. So, and then some people you listen to, you just can't help but like want to listen, and it's almost like a bag of crisps. It's like really moreish, and you want to carry on going, don't you? So I'm trying to get to that stage. It's not polished, but not like it's such an unusual journey. I don't know. Have you done any public speaking?
Yeah, a few bits. Like when I first started like networking, like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And Adam will attest to this as well. Like I would stand up and like there was a few times where I stood up and completely forgot what I was going to say and be so embarrassed, and then I'd sit back down again. But then the more you do it, the more you get used to it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I sort of started. Like do 40 seconds or minute or whatever, and then I started doing the presentations in it, and then I was like going to events and talking, so it just starts from that.
Yeah, I think it's like podcasts, isn't it, and videoing yourself. It's the same thing, mate. I mean, I've seen you do so much footage on this. It's just doing it. I just don't think there'll be such a small percentage of people who are amazing at it straight away. I just think you've just got to work your way through it.
The best bit of advice I got is when I first there's a friend of mine who's like he's a street performer and he's doing acting now as well. And he said, it's not you that's on camera, it's like the phone version of you, or it's like a bigger version of you that's doing it. So like, I've just sort of become that person when I'm on camera or when I'm talking. And the more you do it, the easier it is. Like now it's just like, all right, that's it. Like I sort of came on here and sort of ran over. So I was like building myself up for it. Because I'm slightly different to the person who I am off camera. So less energy off camera.
It's you just got to find your way, haven't you, mate? One of the key things that I learned, what Carl taught me, was like to write them on your hand, the thing. So I don't do that anymore because I'm so used to, and I've got a little bit of a presentation now. So I didn't have a presentation at first, but I found having 4 slides really helped me. But they literally say 1 or 2 words on each slide, so I can go off piste and say the wrong thing. I can mess around with it, win my own. And I think also reading the audience is quite good, like understanding what the audience. And the other one for me is I'll go on the stand about 10 minutes before, microphoned up, and then when people sit down and say, why are you here? so that when I'm doing a presentation, I've got I try and get at least 3 people, so that I think to myself, I am going to at least give that individual some value, and I think that really helps me.
Does your presentation change from show to show?
100% every single time. Every time, literally.
What kind of stuff do you talk about then?
So this time I'm talking about, like, I actually start off the presentation talking about Tezlom a little bit, and then I say, let me tell you a story, and I just tell them about the story of one of our franchisees, but don't tell them it's our franchisee until the last minute. And the delivery is about, if you're buying a franchise, think about, obviously the money's always an aspect. Have I got the money to buy this franchise? So if I've got £500,000, can I buy this? If I've got 10 grand, can I buy this? That's an obvious factor. But once you've found that bracket you're in, it's, do I like the people I'm going to work for? Does the brand make me feel like I want to work for it? Because some brands, like, they look great, but I'm like, I would have worked for them. Like, some brands, I'm just like, yeah, it just doesn't suit me. And I think that's an important part that not everyone gets, is that you're not going to be passionate about something unless you love the brand. If you don't love it, like, how are you ever going to be good at something, like, if you don't love what they do, you know? Get what I mean? Like, some people come over to the stand and the first thing they say to me is, how much does it cost and what do you do? And I'm like, how have you come to that? How have you got here to that analogy with doing zero research when you've got the internet on your phone? Like, at least spend 10 minutes outside, have a look at who's here, and have a little bit, all right, if you're going to walk up and do zero research, read the stand at least, pick up a brochure, and just tell me a bit about your business and who's involved before you go straight in for the kill. And that's what my talk's about, really. It's just trying to give people advice about what they do, and then at the same time, teeing that little bit about, if you're a franchise, someone thinking about franchise business, make sure you understand what your brand stands for before you start selling franchises.
I think that people that are serious about buying franchises, the amount of content you put out, they must come to here and know already who you are.
They've got to. Like, that's what you want, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I just think, I almost don't want to speak to them if they haven't. Do you get what I mean? Like, I'm almost like, if you've not put that work in, at least been on the website of the show and seen who's out there and flicked through a few YouTube videos, like, I that type of person who's got that work to run a successful business. I just don't know if you have.
Ideally for you, you'd want people that are coming here just to see you.
Yeah, ideally, like, or me or another brand, you know, like, got down to...
a few,
Yeah, like, all right, I'm thinking about being in care, I'm going to speak to a domiciliary agency, and I'm going to speak to Tezlom. Or I'm thinking about going into recruitment, I'm going to speak to driver hire, and I'm going to speak to Tezlom. Like you'd want them to got to a certain point. I don't want them to walk up to me with a coffee franchise and an anytime franchise brochure and go, tell me about your franchise. I have no idea what I'm doing. It's like, well, how do we get you from here to here? And I'm going to spend 20 minutes explaining that to you. Like, that's so difficult. It's so hard. It's exhausting.
I feel like the legwork you've put into this beforehand. Like there's
e-shop campaigns, website, social media campaigns. There's a campaign going out today for tomorrow. Like, there's a lot of work, thousands of pounds that go into it, man hours. Like, surely you don't just decide to go one day, come to Franchise Expo, zero expectations. Like, I feel like I just wouldn't do it. Like, if you go and buy a pair of trainers, you go and look what they are, don't you? You know what colourway they do, you know how much they are. You kind of look where the cheapest ones online. If you want to at least see them first, you go and pick them up in a shop, and then you might go online and buy them. Like if you're going to spend your life savings and put your life on,
it's like a massive investment.
Like, you're changing your life.
All your time is going to go into this for like
ever.
The next,
at least 5 years. like you're going to take your family on a journey with you. Like, surely people have. Like, what's the first thing you do when you're ever looking at anything? Straight online, social media, Google, YouTube.
And by like the amount of content you're putting out as well, like, and the stuff you mentioned there that I didn't even know you were doing, like the e-shots and stuff like that, and all these campaigns you're running.
So just for this show, we've ran two posts on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook, Twitter for 8 weeks prior to this show. Me and Gemma have personally committed to doing one post a week about it. You might not necessarily realise it's about that, but we've committed to one post a week about it. Our own database, we've mail shot once a week, and then the people who organise it, VMG, through Franchise Info, we've got one e-shot going out with them prior to the show, and one in-show going out today, saying, did you miss us, we're here tomorrow. And that's just for that. like, and then afterwards we've got the same. Did you see us? We've taken photos all day. Did you not come to the show? Did you want to come and do the same thing? And then all the people that we speak to today automatically go into our CRM system. They'll get an email from Gemma tonight, and if she's had a conversation with them about territory, she'll send them a link to the territory map tonight. If they're really hot, she might even have a phone call with them, like how was your day and all that, let them deload. Yeah, and then tomorrow we'll do exactly the same thing, and then first thing Monday she'll ring them all and then email them all, and they go into active campaign, which is the one that automatically sends them the emails. Like, you've got to put the work in. You can't just rock up and expect to sell a award or get down a franchise. The same with if you can't come and just buy a franchise or looking to get a franchise without some research.
So like now I know why it's worthwhile for you to come here, because all this work you're putting in before and going in afterwards.
Yeah, we've got a franchisee on the stand as well, and a member of staff. I've got people like, there's loads of work goes on before, loads of work goes afterwards. Like, I bet it costs you £7,000 to come and set a stand up with my team and stuff. Like, I'm not just going to go and spend that money willy-nilly. There's going to be some thought process between marketing it before and afterwards, and then think about all the social media content that we get off it, videos. I got here at 8 o'clock this morning and went on one of the theatres and got myself 7 reels of just talking about being an entrepreneur, being a franchisee, being a franchisor, running a healthcare business. And so I've got myself content from the day from being here. Like, invest your time.
I was going to ask you, like, you seem to get content out of nothing really. Like, I see stuff where you've gone on a run, and you make content out of it.
Yeah.
Like, how do you just one day just start doing that, or is it?
So I personally believe, and some people may or may not agree with me. See, the thing is I was in that. You're the same age bracket as me, is where social media came out when we were kind of leaving school, going to college. I think there's people in the franchise industry who are older than us who have zero interest in franchising, but they've kind of made it and they just hire a team to do that, and that's great. But we're in that bracket of, like, you need a presence online. Like, people want to see the owners of the business. They want to see why they're doing it. They want to know their why. They want to know, and then I think for me, I can't be a leader in my business and have 21 franchisees and they all have teams of people. I've got a team of 16, and not to be seen to be looking after myself, doing some self-care, doing personal journey, putting myself in front of the camera, doing all them things. And I think it's like diarising how you look after yourself. And that then creates what they call a personal brand. A personal brand, in my eyes, is just recording what you do.
Yeah.
Just diarising how you get through your time, and that means the good and the bad.
So you said you did some reels in the theatre when you got. When did you know you were going to do that?
So I booked it when I booked the franchise. I said, Kay, you're going to come to the expo, and we'll make sure first thing in the morning, so I'm not got like a shiny forehead, my t-shirt's not creased. And then obviously throughout the day your energy levels go as well. Yeah. So it's like, we'll come in the morning when there's not a lot of people here, the place is still buzzing a little bit, the atmosphere is starting to build because people are on the stands, and I can get a really nice shot in the theatre, and I know that. And then we did some research on YouTube. We paid for some research to be done on YouTube of the most searched questions in our industry. So I've got the top 50 most searches on YouTube. So I've picked 5 questions that I think I can answer quite well. Yeah. So we knew that when we came in this morning, we'd set up, make sure the stand was right, and we just jumped into one of the theatres and got them 5 questions. I also got Gemma to answer some as well, so that we've got content for reels basically and TikToks throughout the year.
How has Gemma changed how you do stuff? She helps you do more of that stuff, because I know she puts out all this content as well.
Yeah, we kind of I just said to part of your role is going to be showing up on social media. I get there's quite a few of us that all do it as well. I just said the importance of there's two things for it. It says if they ever want to move on and leave Tezlom, that's their CV. You know, creating a personal brand for yourself. If you're in a career working for someone, having a personal brand on social media, especially LinkedIn, is like having a CV that's active and live. Like, because if you're looking at it from an employee perspective, if I've got someone that wants to join me and they've got an amazing personal brand online, I know that them working for me or working for Tezlom will then help shine Tezlom. Yeah. Do you get what I mean? Like, Kay, who works for me, she's got quite a lot of followers on social media platforms. Me and her have had the unapologetic conversation that I benefit from her social media. That's it. So my team, all growing their social media will help them in their careers if they stay with Tezlom or not. I hope they do, obviously, but the reality is a world that people don't stay with businesses for the whole of their working career, and it's only going to benefit them is that if they have an amazing social media presence and personal brand, if they go for another job and that person clicks on a LinkedIn profile, sees post, and sees how they know that person and they come across well, it's a no-brainer for that employer, isn't it?
Was that something Gemma had done before as well then?
No, she never pushed.
It seems so natural as well.
Yeah, she's good on camera, isn't she? I just said to her, look, you need to go with my, trust me on this. Creating a personal brand online and showing our story will help us sell franchises. Because again, when we get a lead that's good, we ask them if they're on LinkedIn and we add them on Instagram and LinkedIn straight away. So again, if you go back to marketing, if I like pretty much every single franchisor here has me on LinkedIn, they might not necessarily know me as a person, but they know who I am. So if I do that with a potential franchisee, I'm add them on LinkedIn, and I'm constantly just drip feeding them emails by posting runs, posting Franchise Expo, posting about grief and depression, everything. They get to know me on a personal post about my kids, and it's that bit of work. Now, they don't know me like what I'm having for tea every night, and they don't know about the mortgage rates going up, and they don't know about my flat tyre, but they know roughly who I am, what my values stand for, how I operate, and that's what it is. It's that thing where people are, oh, social media, I don't want everyone to know what I'm doing. Well, they don't. They don't know how much money you got in the bank. Yeah, they don't know about your overdraft being extended. They don't know about your grand dying, but they know what you kind of stand for, and that's that thing where people have this problem with breaking through that.
How do you choose what to share and what not to share then?
I do it based on how I feel that thing is making me feel. So if like yesterday, did you see the post about my brother? It's my 10th, so I posted about that, got quite a lot.
I did see,
Yeah, so it's like, I was like, getting up in the morning, I was feeling a little bit low, I got a little bit tearful, I was like quite low a little bit about it, came to my mind because I was counting how many I'd done. I was like, I wish, and I thought to myself, other people will have these emotions, other people will go through these things of like missing someone, going through life events, and there's actually a negative around it, because for me, like, coming to this, I just think, well, Tom's not here, my dad's not here, but there'll be other people who have lost family members and all that, and doing stuff in life and going through it, and I think sometimes, you've heard me use that raft analogy before, where so like, if you were on a boat in the middle of the night in the Atlantic Ocean, and it's freezing cold, and there's rain coming down, and you smash into a rock, and you come out the boat, and you're on this boat floating around on a plank, it'd be pretty bad, wouldn't it? But if you did it with me, it just wouldn't be as bad.
That'd be slightly better.
Yeah. So I think sharing your journey of how things are good and bad, lets other people sort of share that, and I feel like that's how I make that decision. I make the decision based on, do I think this would give value to someone? Do I think it would help someone else? Yes, I do, then I'm going to post it. It's difficult to put yourself in that routine. That's the bit I think people struggle with, is being quite hard with themselves about how they post social media. I think it's about saying to yourself, I'm going to post today, but then not being unauthentic.
Yeah.
That's the bit, isn't it? Because what you don't want to do is turn your social media into an advert campaign.
Yeah.
Because if you still, like, come and buy a franchise, we were at the expo, like, yeah, I know you're at the expo, but then put something behind it.
Yeah.
Like, think about the emotion behind that. And that's it, because if you sweep through Instagram at the minute, it's like an advert. Like, it's literally like an advert for PTs, isn't it? Like, you sweep through, there's always some PT doing a workout or whatever. It becomes an advertising campaign, and it's boring and the same and monotonous. But if you put some thought behind what emotions around that, I think it captures the...
One that I saw from you that sprung out, and I remembered, was you were in Milton Keynes, and it was like an underpass. And you were like, I hope I don't get mugged or something down that. And I was like, genuinely, like, in my head, I was like a little bit worried for you.
Yeah.
But like, he must be fine because he's posted it. But
someone's took my phone. Yeah. But like, again, it's like, I know you go for runs, and it's important for you to set your day up. So, like, you go. I don't know Milton Keynes. I'm just going to go for a run, and like, you do go, like, you're running down a dark path thinking, like, anything could happen. Why do I put myself through all this? Like, I shouldn't. I'll just stay in my hotel. It's little things like that, isn't it? You know. Why do I put myself through these things to operate in a way that I need to operate? It is crazy, really, sometimes. It's like having rules around going on holiday. Like, I make my life so difficult sometimes so that I can operate well. But it's just the way it is, isn't it? Yeah. I don't really know if there's an answer to it. Really.
I think I've got some quick fire questions for you as well, if you want to do those.
Yeah, whatever you want.
Before we run out of time. If you were going to become a franchisee of any other brand, who would it be and why?
Wow, I like Revive.
Okay.
I really like what Revive stands for. I like the brand. I like the people involved. My best mates just bought a Revive franchise. I like the story, the journey went on. I think they've got it nailed. I think I like managing people and teams as well. So I like cars as well. So I'll be honest with you, my little lad, if Revive, I hope they are still going, I would probably buy him one for his 18th birthday.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I think I like what they stand for. I think they've got a good ethics.
There's a few people that work in franchising that say they would buy a franchise for their kids for their birthday, their 18th birthday.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't think my kids are going to go to university. I'd be surprised if they did, but if they did, that's great. I think that if I can put them into a business and support them, they did 5 years in a business, they'll learn a lot about themselves, never mind just business. So I always think that. I think that would be good.
Is there something you think that they would want to do?
They're a little bit too young yet to kind of get there, but I would definitely have them questions when they're in the teens and just see what. I think I'll know their character traits by then, and then I'll go from there.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, like my son's well into cars, and like I sort of have got into cars a little bit because of him.
Yeah.
So like we were around a car museum the other day.
Yeah. But it's like with football, I'm not into football, but my little lad Logan loves football, so I'm like, do I need to think about getting a season ticket somewhere and getting to know it myself a little bit?
Yeah, nice. Where would you get a season ticket?
I think it'd be like Liverpool, won't it? Because we're over that way, so
Yeah.
Liverpool, Everton. But like, it just depends what he gets into. But he's absolutely loves football.
Yeah,
Right,
nice.
so
How old is he?
5.
Nice.
So Jackson's 8, and he's massively into Lego, but I'm massively into Lego. I love all that sort of creative side. So it'd be interesting to see where that journey goes with them. So.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, nice. Yeah, because I just got into football because of my dad.
Yeah.
So I was like, I was talking to Ben about it, and I've been into football since I was like 6, probably younger, but I went to football since I was 6, and I'm like, it's so ingrained in me now that my mood is affected by it, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to sort of step away from that a little bit.
A lot of my mates are the same, but my mum and dad went into football, so I never got into it.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Second quick-fire question. Who in the sector do you admire or are inspired by, and why?
Who am I inspired? There's quite a few people that inspire me. I like Amrit from Orphanage. She inspires me quite a lot. Similar sort of age bracket, similar sort of demographics, similar sort of like we get quite close. We talk about Adam from Coconut. I get on well with.
I think he said you when I asked him that question.
Yeah. Like we get on well. There's quite a few, to be honest with you. I'm trying to think of it. I say Dan from the Visiting Angel has been really good help, from good inspiring some conversation. Alan from the Franchise Centre. There's been a few.
Yeah.
I could probably wrap it on for about an hour of different relationships I've created for.
Cool. Last one. What do you enjoy most about being part of the franchise community?
It is the community aspect of it. Like, we're all in our little gang, aren't we? I think that's what it is, isn't it? I think it's like this it's like this little secret in the UK that no one knows about just yet, and it's starting to build a little bit more momentum, isn't it? I think it just needs to. I think it's the same old thing. I just wish there was some more people who are really big on. There's a couple of brands that are really big on social media, like Fireway Pizzas. Yeah. I feel like there just needs to be a few more of them brands that just push us out there. And a few more. There's one. A vegan burger place. I don't know if you heard of it. Like, there's a Chelsea, made in Chelsea.
Yeah.
Like, we just need a few more of them.
Okay,
a few more people, just make it cool. If you make it cool, people want to get involved. It's just some of the brands are a little bit hard, and people still think it's just McDonald's on its own.
I have noticed it's changed. Like, I've been working with Coconut since 2015, so nearly 10 years now.
Yeah.
And like when I started, it was like very slow-paced industry and slow to change.
Yeah.
But it's changing now. I can feel like different things happening.
I think also people realising, like TikTok, like if you're not on TikTok in a brand, you're mad. Like, you can really grow your brand really quickly. You can be a little tiny hairdressers and have 1 million followers, and like get bookings from all over the world from it. Like my missus is a hairdresser, and she gets people from Ireland and all sorts of places all over the gaff booking in for hair extensions. Like do it, get used to it, find it out, and learn from it. You know, like it's not just again, it's using something intentionally.
Yeah.
Like, it's like if you use your social media intentionally and follow the right things, you'll get out of it what you want. If you follow all your mates from school that you don't speak to anymore and like the pictures of the dogs, guess what you're going to get out of it? Pictures of your mates' dogs. Like, it's just what you use it for, isn't it? Like, use it intentionally. Whatever you want to use it for, use it for. I've really took a turn in the last 3 months. I have been brutal about who I'm following. I've took loads of people off who just give me no value or don't see or don't get anything out of. I think you just got to do these things.
Yeah, nice. Cool. Well, thank you so much for coming back on the show.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Thanks,